What's up, guys? I'm BTC. Welcome back to another episode of Respawn, where you guys get to pick the topics. This time, we're going to be kind of expanding a little bit off of what I talked about last time, and we're going to go into the niche picks, the off-meta stuff, and what kind of thing needs to be done to change that. This is the second video in the series. You guys gave me a really good response to the first episode. There was a ton of questions. There's absolutely no way I can get to all of them. So I kind of narrowed it down and I went with kind of like a certain theme, which is going to be off-meta niche picks. Let's get started. This first one says, I think it's unfair that niche picks like Sim, Torb, Mei are exclusively designed to work in certain situations, whereas meta picks, such as Soldier 76, McCree, Tracer, Reaper, very usable on any map and situation. I just wish the off-meta heroes would be somehow made more viable both on attack and defense. It also has a lot to do with general player mentality. Mei on attack is a throw, whereas Tracer on defense, no one cares. Well, this is more of a statement than anything, but I feel like there's kind of a question just below the surface, so I really wanted to talk about this one because it leads into the other stuff. Yes, what you're saying is absolutely right. Almost no one will question when you have a McCree or a Tracer or a Genji on defense. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's like, what are you doing, guy? But for the most part, you see that and you're just, they just kind of let it slide. But when you see that Mei on attack or the Torb on attack or Symmetra, then like the instant response is, oh, this guy is throwing. And this has to do with the fact that the game isn't really balanced. I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. You look at the pick rates for the characters, not just in the pro scene, but also on the competitive ladder. At the upper brackets and the lower brackets, you see that some characters are very heavily used and other characters just are very rarely used. And it does have to do with the fact that the way that Blizzard has designed a lot of these characters, like Symmetra, Mei, Torb, is they're designed to fit very specific situations. And if you're not in that exact specific situation, then the effectiveness, the usability of that character goes down dramatically. I don't like this at all. I think having niche pick characters in general is just really bad for the game. If Blizzard is going to put all of the time and the energy into making a hero, then that character should be usable in at least half of the situations. Now, I'm not talking about, oh, you can only use this character when you're defending a point as opposed to attacking. I'm not talking about that. You should be able to use that character at least half of the time when you're defending or when you're attacking. Like, again, you shouldn't have to be niche pick. That's like the main problem. Like, you can't use these certain characters on attack because they're just absolutely terrible. And it's just really bad game design when you have certain characters that are only good in these very limited situations. And that kind of goes right into the next one, so let me read that. It says, discuss what makes certain Overwatch heroes have low pick rates. There's two reasons why characters have low pick rates. Either they're not currently in the meta, or the character is just objectively worse than the other characters. Let's look at Reinhardt. For a while, he has been off meta because Dive has been the most popular, so we've had lots of D.Va and lots of Winston. Reinhardt has been kind of put to the side. That doesn't mean the character's bad, though. Reinhardt is a great character. It's incredibly strong. He just didn't quite fit into the meta. That's why his pick rate was a lot lower. We saw the exact same thing with Lucio, who is one of the strongest characters in the game. For a very long time, he had over a 90% pick rate. But as soon as the Mercy res changes came around, Mercy took his spot and Lucio just dropped in the pick rate. But now that Mercy got nerfed, Lucio is right back up there. So then we have the other reason, which is that some characters are just objectively worse than their counterparts. Why do people use Tracer, Soldier, and McCree instead of Bastion, Hanzo, and Torb? Well, because Tracer, Soldier, and McCree are just a lot stronger. They have more mobility, they can do more damage, and just overall, they're more effective characters. That's why they get used, and that's why the other characters don't get used, and they have a low pick rate. But of course, this compounds the problem that was brought up in that first comment, which is some characters can kind of get away with that and others can't. It's because these characters are objectively weaker in most of the situations, or because they're niche picks, that they have a lower pick rate. And because it has a lower pick rate, it's viewed more negatively. And the more negative it's viewed, the lower the pick rate continues to go. So it's just like this really vicious cycle. Really, I think Blizzard needs to completely move away from this whole niche pick thing. Every character should have a minimum of like a 10 to 20% pick rate and a maximum of 70% pick rate as well, because that's another problem. Some characters that are just overused. So if all the characters fell into that category, I think we would be in a much better situation. Right now, it's not even close. Next comment was, I'd love to see a video with your thoughts on a possible Symmetra rework. Well, you're in luck, because I actually already made one, so I don't really have to talk about it too much here. I'm just going to put a link. It'll be on screen and down below, so you can go and check out that vid after you're done watching this one. And the last question is, who do I think has the highest chance of becoming Hero 27? Because I made a video a little while ago talking about all the potential candidates. At this very moment, I think Brigitte, which is Torbjorn's daughter, has the highest chance of being a hero, because that seems what Blizzard is kind of hinting at in some of their stuff that they put out the last couple days. Although it could be all just misdirection and maybe we're going to get something completely different. I think we're going to find out later today though, because they are due to release another part of that whole major lore thing that they've been doing over the weekend. So we'll probably find out today. But if it's not Brigitte, then it should be Jetpack Cat, because Jetpack Cat is by far the best character that they could ever add to the game. Remember to leave your questions, comments, and topics down below, and maybe you will get picked for the next episode. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my Discord server. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. The links for that stuff are down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault. Also, special thanks to all my Patreon supporters for helping to make this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting the channel, check the links on screen and down below.